What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to my first Football Manager 2018 video. And today, we're going to be kicking it off with my top 5 teams to manage. These are 5 sides which I strongly consider you manage during the beta. Each team has its own unique appeal. Hopefully you enjoy this countdown. Leave a like if you do. And without further ado, let's get started. So coming in at number 5 in this countdown, we have FC Internazionale, of course, Inter Milan. A team who, well, let's put it this way, they're rivals on the other side of Milan. They're having fun. They are having a party. They've spent big in the summer, and expectations are weighing on your shoulders. Looking at Inter, you can see here that they did miss out on European football last year following a 7th place finish, and well, it's going to be your job to try and bounce back. Your initial starting budgets are fairly generous. You have £15 million in transfer budget, a nice hefty kind of wage budget that you can perhaps redistribute a little, and well, the expectations this year are a top half finish, both from your board and the media who are going to be predicting you to come fourth. And one of the reasons I think this save is particularly appealing is due to the fact, of course, you have got that rivalry with AC Milan, the Milan side that everyone is talking about. And you also have the big dilemma of what do you do with this man? Of course, Icardi, a player on everyone's radar, a player who teams are going to be coming in for left, right and centre. Do you decide to keep hold of him and make him your sole goal-scoring threat? Do you sell him on and look to reinvest into the squad? There's a few different ways to approach things here, but with AC Milan doing well and expectations on your shoulder to get a Champions League spot this year, it's going to be a very tough first season. But if you're looking for a short-term challenge, certainly getting Inter back into European football and then maybe taking them to that next level to beat both Juventus and AC Milan to the Serie A title could be a very reasonable expectation within the first few seasons. The second team here in this countdown are Atlanta United, MLS's, or one of MLS's newest sides, a team who have made waves in real life, getting off to a cracking start in their first ever season as an MLS football club. They have a fantastic support which is unmatched across America, and with this being their first year, it's going to be a big chance for you to have that first kind of initial success to hopefully build upon going forward. Your squad is ready-made to challenge MLS and has some of the best players in the league, and expectations this year are fairly modest. A top half finish is expected in the Supporter Shield. Of course, it is worth noting that with MLS there are a whole host of unusual rules that might put some of you off, but if you can get over that and you're looking for a short-term save with a team ready-made to challenge and you want to make history at Atlanta, they're certainly a team worth considering. They have Almiron, who is a fantastic young designated player, the Paraguayan, blistering pace, a big challenge keeping hold of him in MLS after your first season. But alongside him, they've also got Villalba, who's a very talented attacking midfielder. And on top of that, Joseph Martinez, a striker who is to be feared across MLS with fantastic finishing, amazing physicals as well for a player of his quality. And realistically, as Atlanta, there's a real possibility that you could win the MLS Cup in your first season. So the third team here in our countdown is Sevilla, a club who have got a growing profile in Europe and for this season, for the second season in a row, have got Champions League football. A team who have not had great success domestically. You can see they finished third in 2008-2009 and last season they did finish fourth, which was their best finish in quite some time. Of course, Sevilla, a team that in recent years have really gained a profile boost from the fact they won 3 Europa Leagues back-to-back. There were 3 of them. And, well, for you as manager, the big challenge is going to be trying to take on the big dogs of Spain. You know, the Barcelonas, the Atletico Madrids, the Real Madrids. You haven't got loads of financial backing. You've got some okay youth facilities. But realistically, it's going to come down to shrewd transfer business to try and make things happen. In your first season, money is a little tight as well, with only £3.5 million to spend on players. Although there is a little bit of wage budget for wiggle room. Looking across their squad, they've got a very solid starting team. You're not going to need to desperately make a load of signings to start things off. And with a very bloated B team with, well, some players with real potential, there's the opportunity here to either loan out the players to make some money or even to try and develop them in-house and sell them, you know, within the first few seasons to generate some funds to strengthen the first team. All in all, though, I think they're an interesting challenge. And for me personally, I think one of the biggest challenges in Football Manager is trying to overthrow the likes of Barcelona and Real Madrid to win the Liga BBVA title. So the penultimate team here in this countdown of my top 5 teams to manage is a team that I don't think many people would have guessed. And it's a team that I'm strongly considering managing coming into Football Manager this year. The French side FCSM are a team that for a long period of time had a long stint in Ligue 1. They finished 5th on 3 occasions, as recently as you can see here, as 2011. But after 3 consecutive years without promotion, things, well, you'd assume they might not be looking that great for the Ligue 2 outfit. However, they have hope, and their hope comes in a plethora of youngsters, a golden generation. Axel Axtas is definitely the pick of the bunch, the 17-year-old, an absolutely incredible talent here. And the big challenge is going to be securing promotion back to the top flight. You probably could do it within the first few seasons with a few nice additions, or you might want to take the longer-term approach, trying to develop some of these youngsters who, let's be honest, are ready for first-team football and part of a real golden generation, and trying to make the most of them. You can see you've got Fuchs here, who's a very good player, the right back and centre back mid as well. Jean Ruiz, another option as well. All in all, this is a team ready-made to build a really big project around, get lots of young French players in and develop them. Finances are very limited, however. You can see here a transfer budget of £178,000. Wage budget is in the red as well, so that is going to be worth considering. But with the youngsters you have, you're realistically not going to be looking to sign a whole load of players. The expectations for the first season are a top half finish in Ligue 2. And as I said, the youth facilities are impressive. You're going to get good regens through. And on top of that, there is some real exciting young French players ready-made for first-team football who, if you develop, are realistically good enough to play in the top flight of France. And so you could really build a big project at FCSM. And to cap off my countdown, guys, here, at number 1, we have Schalke. Yes, a team that maybe some of you predicted. Last season, they finished 10th place. It was their second worst finish in 17 years. And to make things worse, they need to improve. And their best players only have a year left on their contract. Leon Goretzka, a standout centre midfielder. You need to convince him either to sign a new deal or to cash in on him with just 1 year left on his contract. On top of that, Maximilian Meyer stands out as another player at real risk of being lost on a free transfer. You're either going to want to cash in on these players or keep hold of them. Of course, Schalke are a team known for letting players go that if they kept hold of, they could be a real powerhouse. And that's going to be your big challenge. They've not won the Bundesliga or the top flight in Germany in 60 years. In your first season, you are going to have limited funds, but you've got a plethora of young talent. Despite finishing 10th last year, the expectations this year are to finish top 6 and get Europa League football, which isn't necessarily going to be as easy as you might imagine. I mentioned already Goretzka and Meyer. One other player definitely worth mentioning, Bril Embolo, fantastic player, Swiss international, 20 years old, some real potential in this guy. It's going to be down to you to make him into the star player that Schalke need to propel them to the Bundesliga title. And finally, another thing that's worth noting is the fact that the facilities here at Schalke are very good indeed. They've got great youth facilities, established youth recruitment. Can you buck the trend that a team like Schalke has, where fundamentally to survive as a football club, they rely on harvesting talent and selling it on to bigger clubs for money? Can you stop them becoming a selling club? Can you take them to the summit of the Bundesliga with the emerging team like Red Bull Leipzig, as well as the established teams like Dortmund and Bayern Munich? It's not going to be easy. It's going to take you at least a few seasons, I imagine, to challenge for the title. But with the young players you've got, and an interesting situation, I guess, with a few of your key players with not long left on their contracts, I think they're a very interesting team to manage in the opening of FM18. Anyway, guys, that does wrap this up from me. Hopefully you did enjoy the video. If you did, leave a like. It is greatly appreciated. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Keep your eye out. Loads of FM videos going to be coming your way in the next few days for the FM18 beta. Hopefully you've enjoyed this one, as I already said. I will see you on the next one. It is me, Jack, and I'm out. I'll talk to you guys in a bit.